the show. We're previewing UFC 262. Yeah. Whoa. You know what I'm saying? We're previewing UFC 262. 262 pay-per-view going down Saturday night. We're going to be doing the watch-along with you here on Saturday night. We're going to watch the pay-per-view with you. Live reactions. The last pay-per-view was wild. The last UFC pay-per-view was fantastic, and this one looks pretty good. AJ's making a lot of noise with the, you got a fan for some reason. I don't know. AJ's got a new gimmick tonight, and we'll hear from AJ in a moment. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to the channel, click the bell so you get those notifications every time we are on. Shout out to everybody watching. Seeing Angelo, member of the team, in the chat. What's up, Angelo? Become a member of the YouTube channel just like Angelo did. Angelo's a smart man. He knows what's up. Shout out to everybody watching. Appreciate you. UFC 262 coming up on Saturday night. It will be a new lightweight champion crowned in the UFC. Michael Chandler taking on Charles do Bronx Olivieira. And I've been going back and forth on this fight. This is a tough one to call. I think it's going to be a great fight. I think the fight itself is going to be fireworks. These two guys move forward. I don't think we're going to have a boring fight here. Charles Olivieira right now is the Bet99 favorite. He is the favorite over at Bet99.com. He's the favorite across the board. Charles Olivieira, a slight favorite here. Trying to get the who's breathing into the mic? Is that you, Fred? What's going on? I'm hearing like breathing. Is that AJ?
For real?
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe lower your mic or something. I don't know.
Doubt it. What the hell is that?
Yeah, I was like,
it's me.
Oh, maybe it's you. I don't know. I was like hearing like heavy breathing. I'm like, is somebody having an episode here? Is everybody okay? Is that me? Maybe I'm just hearing things.
I was gonna go.
Could be.
I was
me
gonna go with my shtick with the breathing thing, and it wasn't me. Freddie beat me to it because I was gonna say I registered for the new class with my master Fabia, the School of Self-Awareness, and breathing is a very important part of it. So Freddie, you beat me to the punch. Hos.
Yeah.
Take it away, Sifu.
Charles Olivieira -141, the favorite over at Bet99.com. Michael Chandler +115, the underdog going into UFC 262. So the odds makers think Olivieira gets it done on Saturday night. It's a tough one, man. It's a really tough one to call. I'm looking forward to this fight. I'm looking forward to the co-main event as well, Tony Ferguson against Beneil Dariush. It's a solid pay-per-view. It's not the greatest pay-per-view top to bottom that the UFC's ever produced, but we definitely have some good fights. I mean, it opens up with Matt Schnell versus Rogerio Bontorin, and I don't really know who those guys are. I'm sure they're really good at fighting. I just don't know them. You know, if they were walking down the street, I would not recognize them. Tony Ferguson, Beneil Dariush, I recognize those guys walking down the street. Caitlin Chukagian, I recognize her. Viviane Araujo, I don't think I would recognize her by face. And that's kind of what I go by. How big is this pay-per-view? Do I recognize these fighters? Can I picture them in my mind when I say their names? Right? Like when I say Charles Olivieira, Fred, you could picture what he looks like, right? When I say Edson Barbosa, you could picture what he looks like. He's fighting Shane Burgos on this card. Could you picture Shane Burgos? I can't really get an image of who Shane Burgos is. You either, right?
So I'm going to go for, he's probably like, he's not white, but he's not black. He's in between both, you know?
He's biracial.
I'm just saying, Shane
Mixed
Burgos,
race,
we're trying.
Biracial,
yeah,
biracial, triracial,
Shane Burgos probably has a good kickboxing, I think. His jiu-jitsu, I'm not convinced. I got no clue who he is.
I'll give you a picture of Shane Burgos, all right? You're kind of right. I don't know what he is exactly. I'm not sure. He's from the Bronx, New York, according to Wikipedia, and he's 30 years old. He's a bad man. You know, he's good. Yeah, he's good at fighting. He's very good at fighting. I kind of pictured that face, but I wasn't really sure who he was. His opponent, of course, we know who he is, Edson Barbosa. That's going to be a good fight on the pay-per-view. Burgos versus Barbosa. Burgos coming off a loss, and he is the favorite against Edson Barboza. I don't know about that. I know who Edson Barboza is. I'm not really sure who Shane Burgos is. I'm sure AJ will give us all sorts of facts that he made up. Tell us about... I don't want you to tell us about Shane Burgos. I was about to ask when I was like, no. Forget Shane Burgos. Let's talk about...
Let me go into
Fred doesn't want to know. No, AJ, it's okay.
No, you want to know.
No. I want to know first. I want to know first about...
We got to know.
First, I want to know about Michael Chandler and Charles Oliveira. I want to go off the top, main event. Let's get into the good shit.
Dave is right.
Damn. I was just going to get on a roll there, man. You guys started talking about it and blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, okay, Anthony, the new video that you got says control. Punch yourself for 20 minutes and everything will be good, which I did before the show. But if you want to go to Olivieira, go for it.
Okay, well, we have to explain your new gimmick right off the top, right? Because you're not explaining it. And some people might not be in the know. You're talking about Josh Fabia, who is Diego Sanchez's coach, who kind of facilitated getting Diego Sanchez kicked out of the UFC. There was a video released, I think that Sanchez and his team released, of Fabia just throwing strikes. Here's a little clip. I could show you what this is. It's bizarre. There's Diego Sanchez hung upside down like a heavy bag. And there's his coach, Josh Fabia, just throwing kicks and punches at him in the head and the body. Oof. And this is part of their training routine, apparently. How is this? And now AJ apparently wants to train under the techniques of Josh Fabia. Yeah, the tutelage. He wants to be his student because AJ is willing to try anything, and this seems...
I could see AJ falling for that. Like,
yes.
I could see AJ becoming a Fabia student.
Yeah.
Like, if that guy Josh Fabia was here, and he was here with Diego Sanchez, both of them in the same room with AJ, for sure they convince AJ to join them.
100%. If Diego Sanchez is standing there with you, AJ, you're going to be like, guys, I'm telling you, Josh Fabia, he's got some really good ideas. And I trained with them, and, Diego Sanchez is a really tough guy, man. He's got really good jiu-jitsu, so he must know. He's the legend, That's what AJ would say. AJ would train with Diego Sanchez, be impressed with Diego Sanchez because, why wouldn't you be? He's Diego Sanchez, UFC legend. And then he'd be like, I'm telling you guys, Josh Fabia, he's got some good ideas here. You start training under him.
I'm going to tell you something.
Start getting kicked in the head by him.
No. Listen. You know what? I'm going to actually give him like 30 seconds to defend his crazy techniques. Because the thing is that he, you just saw that video, and literally we were talking about it like before the show, and we were saying like this guy hits like Diego Sanchez like for 20 minutes every day. But when you look at like the Wuhan bat hanging upside down, the Wuhan Sanchez, you're gonna see like the kicks and the punches and the slaps and the taps and everything. And you know what it reminds me of? And I'll be honest, if you've been around as long as AJ has, you've seen it all, man. You've seen all kinds of crazy shit.
A long time.
Which is some crazy shit I've seen. But you know what it reminds me of? To give him some like legitimacy in what he's doing. If you look at some of the old training methods of the Shaolin monks, okay, and I've seen those guys up close and personal, man. I've seen those guys training. They actually do this crazy shit. They do iron kick to the nuts. They do iron kick to the chest. They do iron forehead. So and they do this crazy shit of tapping and punching and whatever. Maybe I think what he's trying to do this, Fabia, is take some of his like Shaolin training and trying to implement it into like the UFC standards. Look. If you look at old Shaolin training,
come on, AJ, you know what this is? It's nonsense.
With the teacher.
It's nonsense. It's dim-mac, jabroni, ridiculous, bullshito nonsense.
Don't mess with the iron
crazy.
Nuts.
It's ridiculous.
Yeah, you're the guy. AJ, you're the guy usually that brings us the whole like bullshito
McDojo. You're all about that stuff,
exactly.
AJ. You're always talking to us about McDojo.
And now you're gonna support it.
It's ridiculous, AJ.
No,
what is the matter with you?
I'm not going to support it, but what I'm going to say is that there's actually some basis to the Shaolin Kung Fu training, and that's where this guy is going towards. Is he all there? I'm trying to get him. First of all, I don't want to say too much shit to diss him because I'm trying to get him on as a guest on our show. So, Fabia, if you're listening, I can understand where you're going. So try to come on our show.
He really does, eh? He really does want him on the
AJ
show,
has a
which
lot
is
of
the
money
funniest
and he
thing.
needs a coach.
Listen,
Fabia, AJ has a lot of money and he needs a coach.
That's right. AJ's
saying.
rich.
yeah, and I want to be part of the self-awareness. I've already started. Can't you see my fan? I've got my fan ready.
He's already a believer.
I'm already ready. I've got my fan. This is called the Iron Fan for most of you guys that don't know this.
I don't see how the fan connects.
This fan, this fan, if I throw it, it will kill someone. It will literally kill someone with the proper technique. But
do you have the
I'm
proper
not there
technique
yet.
to do that? Is that
no,
real?
I gotta order.
What are you talking about?
DVD.
That's why we need Fabia.
Actually, Fabia, I need to get DVD
if
number
you
4.
throw
so
that
I gotta
fan,
buy...
it would kill someone with the proper technique. What are you talking about?
Listen,
you know,
man,
if I threw
like
a baseball,
methods,
if I threw a baseball at your head, it would kill somebody with the proper technique. You know that? If I threw the baseball with the proper technique and the proper speed and accuracy, it would kill a man as well.
Listen,
you know, like if Garrett Cole throws a fastball at your head and you're not protected, you might die, right?
Have you ever seen?
Shout out Garrett Cole. Go Yankees.
Movies?
Yankees
Shout out
doing
to
well
Joshua
lately.
Fabia.
I see
Listen,
Fred's Houston hat. Houston not doing so good. Not like the Yankees are these days. Freddie just wears that hat to taunt me. That's okay.
That's why I bought it.
For 2 years now.
I know. And it's just a
right
troll.
After.
It's a troll. He wears it on the show specifically to taunt me because the Yankees and the Yankee fans hate the Astros.
No, the truth is it's my only nice hat I have right now, so it's it's the default one I have to put on whenever I want to put a hat on. And I'm a hat guy, man. During the winter, I like to have those winter hat things, thick.
Mm-hmm.
And I love the baseball cap in the summer, man.
Well, I'm gonna get you a new baseball hat, okay? I'm gonna get you a new one, and it'll
Ringside
be nicer.
Report baseball hat.
Yes, I will get you that. All right, so you can wear that instead. The Yanks are losing.
Why don't you get me one too, Dave?
Yanks
it's
are losing
a great way
right
to
now.
Promote our show.
Okay, you guys are both baseball hat wearers. Okay, we'll make hats. We'll get you a hat.
Why does it take us to mention it to you? Why does it take?
But I don't like the AJ style hat. I don't have that.
No.
Flat
I want the AJ
thing. I want
the rapper.
The roundish one,
You don't want it flat. You want it rounded. I get you, Fred.
I like it.
Patrick C. Hamilton.
No, I want it flat.
Patrick C. Hamilton dropping a super chat with a very important question. Fred, did you see the question?
What is it?
Will Fred be at the watch party? Thank you, Patrick.
Oh my God!
Big question.
And Pat gave out money for this. Pat gave out money for this.
Fred be watching UFC 262 with us?
AJ has been saying that maybe we have a spy that's been hacking us and all that, and I'm wondering if it's not Patrick now. Are you listening to our conversations before the show, Patrick? Unfortunately, I won't.
Someone's gonna be busy with tigers and I don't know if there's penguins there. Is there penguins there?
Apparently, hats are already being designed by the Ringside Report team. So, boom, we're already in the hat game. It's coming. It's coming.
But make sure they're cool hats, Dave. Make sure
they'll
they're
be
cool hats.
I'll make sure they're cool.
That are not cool.
You know me, I'm all about cool things. My favorite things are cool
those
things.
Shoes that you bought. You should show those shoes that you
want
got.
to see them? I brought them. I brought them just for you.
I'm going to tell you that if Sanchez was wearing those shoes, he'd still be in the UFC.
I got the box right here.
Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Watch this.
The unboxing. Should we do an unboxing video?
Yeah. Do it,
of the sneakers. These are, Freddie. These are the Simpsons.
The Sanchez specials.
The Simpsons Adidas Flaming Mo sneakers. Okay? Simpsons Adidas. Boom, boom. See the box? All right.
I don't want to know how much you pay for that.
They were not that expensive, actually. They
retail. Are those part of the giveaway?
They retail for
$100. Are those part of the giveaway?
No, these are mine for now. Maybe I'll give them away one day. But they retail for 160 Canadian, 120 US. And these are the Flaming Mo's, as you see here.
They're really nice, man. Wow.
The flame on the side. This purple here is like a nice suede-y material. The purple kind of that goes all through the shoe here. Nice suede-y.
Do they have a picture of Mo?
You got the cage. You have here, up here on the thing, it says Flaming Mo's. I don't know if you can catch that on the tongue. On the tongue right here, Flaming Mo's.
Snazzy.
And then this little Flaming Mo thing on the tag on the tab here of the laces is metal, which is nice. It's a nice little metallic. Get a nice close up of that. The flaming Mo drink.
So if you get hit by lightning, there's a.
And they come with an extra pair of laces, so you could switch to black if you want. Got the whites.
Cool.
And then you got the.
But where's the picture of Mo, man?
Then you got the Simpsons here. I'll show you the.
That's what I'm looking for, man. Let's see
picture.
that.
There's no picture of Mo, but then inside, inside the tongue it says the Simpsons.
Look at that, man! And there's a heart in the back.
Huh? No, that's Adidas.
It looks like a heart on the heel.
It's just the Adidas logo.
Wow.
The flaming
sharp, Dave.
Mo shoes by Adidas.
Are you gonna actually wear those things?
I don't think so, honestly. I think I'm just gonna.
So, ladies and gentlemen, the good news is that once we hit 10,000 subscribers, like Dave had mentioned, he's gonna give away his flaming Mo's, and it's gonna be awesome. So we need to get a 10,000 subscribers. Did you say that? Because he's not wearing them, so it's an investment. You paid $160. You could probably sell those things for God knows what, unless they end up at Winners or something.
No, they're going on StockX for like $190 US right now, something like that. So
what?
They're up there. Thank you, Angelo. Angelo drops a super chat. He says, "I'm digging the sneakers. Those are cool." I thought so too.
Maybe Angelo will win it, man. We gotta get like 10,000 subscribers and not forget like
cool.
our true OGs, man. The guys from the beginning, John, Angelo.
I've got a sneaker collection,
Johnny
but everything's in 10.5. You know, if you're like
what?
Johnny
Your
North,
foot is that big?
10.5.
Get the hell.
What do you mean?
Your foot is 10.5?
Yeah, that's not big. That's average, no?
I take smaller, man, but I should
what can I say?
Getting a bigger size.
I got, what can I say, my friend? Let's not talk about it.
Let me see the size of your hands. Yeah,
Andre the Giant's over here. I got big hands, big feet, but I'm short. So
I'm sure Harvey Keitel. You know what? Harvey Keitel does have big hands.
It's his birthday today.
To let you know, but anyway, no way. And I mentioned it. I didn't even send him a birthday gift. I'm going to send it after the show.
Happy birthday,
Flaming Moles. I'm going to tell him.
Happy birthday, friend of the show, Harvey Keitel. It's his birthday today.
Put up a picture of me and Harvey, man. Find it on our Instagram.
Well, that's going to be hard to find.
Me and Harvey, man. It's not that hard to find, man. It's like one of the ones
Dave.
that I probably reposted the most.
Find it, Dave.
It's Harvey Keitel's birthday. Happy birthday, Harvey. What a cool guy, man. When I get older, I want to be like Harvey.
82 today.
Is he 82 now?
AJ's good buddy, Harvey Keitel. And when we say AJ's buddy, Harvey Keitel, famous actor Harvey Keitel, we mean it. He actually is AJ's friend. We thought AJ was lying, but then he showed us a picture.
They went to high school together. 82. That's about AJ's age.
Yeah, roughly, right? They're contemporaries. I don't know, AJ.
Listen, man.
There's so many pictures on our Instagram, it's hard to find.
Scroll down.
I am scrolling, man. I don't know. I'm not finding it.
Listen, yes, you're going to find it. Listen, why don't you put
probably like over a year ago, man.
Yeah, it's down at the bottom there.
There we go.
There's me and Harvey. Pull it up, Dave. I can't see it.
Well, that's the weird picture you posted. So, there's you and Harvey Keitel.
That guy, man.
There you go.
Look at that. Look at that happiness. Look at me and him.
Right.
That's before COVID, man. We were happy. We were like joking. I drove technically didn't drive his truck, but I have the video with our conversation. That's the funny part. I asked him all kinds of questions, man. And I made him privy to a few things that he didn't know about.
I'm seeing Dino Steaks and Lauren Cronish, also 10.5. Shout out to my fellow 10.5s. Glenn McKenzie, my man on the AEW Dynamite post show, also at 10.5. So shout out to all the 10.5s out there living life to the fullest. Can we talk about the Michael Chandler fight already? God damn, pal.
No, we're talking about Joshua Fabia and all that kind of stuff. Like I told you, let's be nice so we can get him on the show, Dave. Get him on the show.
Does AJ derail the show or does AJ derail the show? Fred, help me out. Michael Chandler, Charles Oliveira coming up on Saturday night.
Yeah, let's get to it.
Who you got, baby? Who you got?
Man, this is a tough one. This is a tough one.
You said Fred, man. You said Fred.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, guys. I apologize. Self-awareness.
I'm going to take a chance with Charles Oliveira, man. He's been on a good streak. I've always been a fan of his. He looks like he's got his thing together, like in recent fights and all that. I'm gonna go with Oliveira by submission, but hey, in the end, it's just a great fight, man. Chandler and Oliveira right now, I think those are the two guys that make sense for the title. You know, there's other guys, Poirier, that should be in the discussion, and other guys, but I'm down for that as far as a title fight, and I'm gonna go with Oliveira because he's been in the UFC longer. I've seen him, I think, in more bigger fights, but Chandler has been in big fights also. So, like I say, I think it's just a great fight. Could go either way, but if you have to pick a guy, I'm gonna go with Oliveira submission.
That's a solid pick. And I'm going with Charles Oliveira as well. I feel like Charles Oliveira is the winner of this fight. I think he comes away beating Chandler, but I think it's going to be tough, man. I think Michael Chandler's really dangerous. You know, we saw in that last fight that he had with Hooker when he knocked him out in the first round, like he just bull rushed that guy. You know, Chandler's super dangerous. He's coming on strong. He's had some good fights in Bellator where he's beat some really tough guys, but he's also lost a few fights in Bellator, and you kind of wonder, the Patricio Pitbull fight that he lost, you know, could have been seen as an early stoppage, but I think he was out in that fight. He got dropped and he got put out. And I think that might happen again. So I agree with you, Fred. I think Oliveira wins, but I think he manages to finish Chandler by TKO or by knockout. I think he puts him out with strikes. Chandler's never actually been submitted. I mean, if you know, it's a long shot. If you want to go with Oliveira by submission, he does have great jiu-jitsu, but I'm just, you know, Chandler's got such good wrestling. He's got a big, thick neck. It's going to be tough to choke that dude. You know, I think if Oliveira finishes Chandler, probably a TKO, but yeah, I could see it going a decision too. I think this is going to be a really close fight. I think it's going to be a tough one, but I think that Oliveira just kind of puts it on him and outpaces him. I think this one goes like to the third or fourth round, and Oliveira kind of finishes it there when Chandler's a little bit more tired. He's able to use his range and just kind of pick him apart. That's how I see this going, with Oliveira kind of pouring on the pressure, you know, just out-pressuring him, just outworking him and putting him into deeper waters and getting him hurt and tired. I think it's going to be a combination of not just tired, but also, you know, hurt. And when you're a little bit tired, you're more susceptible to get hurt and kind of vice versa. So I like Oliveira in this fight. I could see Chandler storming him and beating him quick. I could also see Chandler like just being stronger than him, getting some key takedowns, winning some key rounds, and winning a decision. Like, this is a tough fight. I could honestly see either man winning by decision or knockout. Fred's pick of submission is the one thing I don't really see happening, but hey, who knows, right? Who fucking knows? But
hey, I'm the one who got the parlay right last week.
Yeah, right. Your parlay
True.
came through last
Freddie's
week. That
on
was
fire,
a great
man.
parlay. Yeah, Freddie is on fire.
Freddie's on fire. But you
Yeah.
know what, guys? You know what? You're right. Look, even though you're going with Oliveira, it's still a hard fight to pick. And you know what? Not to take away from Oliveira, the guy has probably the best growth that we've seen. I remember Oliveira, and I'm going to tell you a quick story. Oliveira, at one point, man, like nobody, like when he came into the UFC, like it wasn't like he was a known guy, and you saw him win, you saw him lose some fights, and he moved up. I remember one time, I forgot who the fight was, but Fabio Holanda, one time was cornering Charles Oliveira. The reason is because Charles had no one in his corner. He came in from Brazil and he had no one in his corner. So this guy was at a point where he had no money, really. He had really no like resources in a sense. And you had Fabio Holanda covering him in the corner to get him through that fight. I forgot who he fought. I should have researched it. But you know what? This is way back. And look where he is today. So if anybody has grown from like really an unknown to probably one of the best fighters that we're seeing today is Charles Oliveira. But you can't take away from Michael Chandler. This guy's a 3-time lightweight champion. This guy fought in Bellator. I remember the fights with Eddie Alvarez. This guy is like a beast. If you want to see like MMA, like top fights, you're going to see Chandler there with Alvarez. And just to give you a couple of stats, if you look at Oliveira, he has never fought 5 rounds. He has never fought 5 rounds in his career. And you look at Chandler, and this guy's fought 4 times. Okay, he has had 4 fights over 5 rounds. So when you're
Over
looking at a
5
guy
rounds?
who's going to
Over?
like like 4 fights like into
That have
into 5 rounds.
Yes,
That have had
because
5 rounds.
nobody
So the
fights
thing is
over
this,
5 rounds, right?
well, you could technically in the old days of the UFC,
Oh,
but I'm going to tell you something.
no.
Look,
Okay.
when it comes down to is that Chandler is coming in. You know, this guy's a no joke guy, man, and that's why it's such a hard fight to pick. Like, I want to go with Oliveira, but at the same time, I'm like, Chandler's dangerous because this guy, what he does is that when he comes, he bull rushes you, and if he's coming in heavy and hard, he's trying to take you out in the early rounds. If Oliveira can basically sort of weather the storm, he's going to be able to win this fight. But it's going to have to go the distance. The only problem is that Chandler, man, this guy's cardio is insane. Have you seen this guy, man? He's insane. And look what he did to the hooker.
I've seen
The
it.
hooker went down hard.
Yeah.
He didn't even leave any money. That's the problem. And that's the thing with Chandler. It's a hard fight to pick, but Oliveira, man, you know, he's given his time in the UFC. And look, you know, if I had to pick, it's going to be a hard one, but yeah, I'm probably going to agree with you guys. I'm going to go with Oliveira for the distance on this one.
Ooh, I didn't think you were going there. I really thought you were going to go with Chandler.
Listen, all day I've been fighting, like, you know, the fact to go against Chandler, and I'm like, you know what, I want to go against Chandler, but the thing is that this guy here, if he's not able to do what he does and like overwhelm Oliveira in the first rounds, then it's going to be a different game. But if we see this fight and we see Chandler overwhelming Oliveira right off the bat, it's not going to go to 5 rounds. He's going to knock out Oliveira, and that's going to happen in the first rounds. If he can't do that, I'm going with Oliveira. But that's why I think this fight's going to go the distance. I don't think Oliveira is going to be that easy to, to go down. Mind you, he's been submitted twice. I think it was 2 guillotine chokes that Oliveira's had, and like you said, Chandler's never been submitted. Mm-hmm. So, and both of these guys, man, can stand up and throw heavy strikes. And both of these guys are grapplers. So Freddie has a point. Maybe the game plan is these guys are going to go into the striking mode. But if Oliveira is smart, because he knows that Chandler is going to come hard in the first couple of rounds, he might want to take him down and go into the grappling game. And if anybody could submit anybody, it's Oliveira.
Charles?
I'm just a fan of
go ahead, Fred.
The grappling of Oliveira. That's why I'm going for submission. I think he's one of the best grapplers in the UFC right now, and I think he has the skills. And also Chandler, like, I'm going through his record, and I'm like, yeah, you know, he has a couple of nice wins and all that, but I need him to beat more UFC guys that are active. Like, yeah, I see just before, like, his last fight in Bellator was against Benson Anderson, but how much does that mean, beating Benson Anderson in 2020? You know, so I just want to see Chandler do it. Prove me wrong, and I'll applaud you. But right now, I got Oliveira by submission.
Charles Oliveira has won 8 straight in the UFC over some tough guys, and 7 of those 8 he finished. So he's not only beating people, he's finishing people. And at 31 years of age, I feel like he's just hitting his prime right now, whereas Michael Chandler's 35. I think he's exiting his prime. That's usually how it works, especially at 155 pounds. So I just feel like Charles is coming up, and Chandler has maybe peaked, and that's where we're at. And I think Charles just kind of takes over. And he looks so good in that last fight with Tony Ferguson. It's hard to go against him. He looked so damn good against Tony Ferguson. So I could see this fight go into decision. I'm seeing Angelo thinks it'll go Oliveira by decision. A lot of people think it's going to go to a decision. AJ's picking it to go Oliveira by decision. And honestly, that makes a lot of sense. I would not bet on the length of this fight. I saw Dino Stakes was saying, you know, the under of this fight makes sense. But I don't know, man. I think that these guys might feel each other out. Oliveira knows that Chandler's very dangerous early. He's not going to engage that much. He's going to try and feel him out and avoid that pressure, I think, early on. I could see this fight going long. I could see this fight going into the 3rd, 4th, maybe 5th round. I think Oliveira winds up finishing Chandler, though. I think he gives him a TKO, you know, finishes him off, beats him up. Maybe in the 3rd or 4th it ends. But I could also see this go into a decision. It's gonna be a close fight. I think it's gonna be a really good fight too. It's gonna be entertaining for us to watch on Saturday. Unfortunately, Fred won't be watching it with us.
No. Pat put out some money. You gotta come, Fred. You gotta come. But Dave, just to get back to it, you know what?
I don't know. Apparently, Fred quoted Chris Benoit according to Johnny North.
And
Just
I'm
ignore
not
Johnny
quoting
North.
Chris Benoit, man.
Yeah, he didn't quote Benoit at all. Just ignore Johnny North his nonsense
Where's
on the
Johnny?
chat. I don't know. He's chatting
Don't
stuff.
get on Johnny.
Johnny's nonsensical. Glenn is
Johnny!
rubbing off on him, and that's bad. Glenn is a bad influence on Johnny on Wednesday nights. Just terrible influence.
Well, he might end up in Glenn's hot tubs there, so who knows?
Yeah.
Good
Stay
for you.
away
Is he
from the
getting
hot
the
Johnny.
heel out of Johnny?
Oh, I don't know
Johnny
what's
becoming
going
a
on with
heel
those
finally?
two. Those two are just too much.
Like I've been saying
Listen,
for
man,
years, Johnny needs to become a heel.
listen. No. Johnny has a good heart. Johnny is like the nicest wrestler I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
He won't even cross a red light, and I'm not saying that as a joke. Dave knows it's true.
Yeah.
Johnny is like one mean machine. Probably, you know what? He should be in AEW. He should be in the WWE because he
Okay.
could smoke a lot of those guys.
So-
and you know that. And Johnny
No.
has smoked a lot of those guys. But Dave, can I say one thing?
Hold on.
I
I'm
agree
seeing
about-
Dino
like, when I went
Steak
out-
saying, hang on, AJ. I'm seeing Dino Steak saying in the chat that they're both very aggressive and they look to close distance. And I could, he's right as well. I think it's a he. I don't know, Dino Steak's man or woman. But it's not really a name, right? So it's hard to tell. But
Dino, man. Dino Bravo,
Steaks,
man.
yeah, I guess
Come on.
this is a man.
Come on, Dave.
I could see this fight ending quickly. I could see Chandler winning this fight quickly, beating Olivieira. Because Oliveira's been finished before. Like, let's not act like Charles Oliveira's never been beat. This guy has 8 losses in his professional career. Paul Felder knocked him out in 2017. So let's not act like this guy is impervious to the knockout. People have put Charles Oliveira away, and that's why I wonder, how does this fight go? How does this fight go? Has Oliveira learned enough? Is this version of Charles Oliveira that much better than the version of Charles Oliveira that fought Paul Felder in 2017? I think he is. I think he is, and that's why I'm going with Oliveira. But look, man, this is a crazy fight, and I could, fighting at a high level like this when these two guys are like, at the very, very best of their game. It's a game of inches, and one little mistake, you go left when you should have gone right, and you lose the fight. That's how fighting is at this top level right now. It's very competitive, especially at the 155-pound division, right? Like, let's not act like this isn't the elite of the elite. The 155-pound division for a very long time has been the place where the best talent, the most talent has been. It's really hard to get to the top, and this is the world championship fight, so this is a tough one to call. This isn't Khabib, right, who's winning every fight and just smashing everybody. So it's like lightweight title fight. Who's going to win? Probably Khabib. It's a different thing. It's a different thing. It's a tough fight. Go ahead, AJ.
Look, I was going to say, like, the way he dismantled, like, Ferguson. I mean, you're talking Tony Ferguson. He didn't just go there and, like, it was a close fight. And you know what? It went the distance and it was close. I mean, he dissected Tony Ferguson. If you're going to do that to Tony Ferguson, your stock went like to the top, man. You're at a different level than you were like 5 years ago when you fought like some fighters that we're looking at and saying, I can't believe you Felder beat him. But that's a different game. Everybody wins, everybody loses, and it's what you learn from that and move forward is what Oliveira does. Because if you look at what Freddie's pick is as well, he's got a submission on it. And when you look at the UFC record for submissions, it's Charles Oliveira. Freddie has a point there. That's the thing with Oliveira. He could beat you standing up like he did to Tony Ferguson, and he could close you down. The reason why he has that record in the UFC. But, not to take away from Chandler.
Too aggressive.
Guillotine.
Down.
Like if he's too aggressive, maybe he puts himself in danger and gets caught early even. Like I could see this fight going a lot of ways, honestly. I could see Chandler putting the pressure and knocking out Oliveira. Like you said, Oliveira's been knocked out before, so that could happen early also. And this fight could go 5 rounds. There's a lot of different ways this fight could go. I'm going to still stick to my submission for Oliveira. I've been a fan of him for a long time, and I'm just happy he's got his thing together and he's put on a good winning streak, and hopefully it continues.
And what is he going to hit, Fred? Gogo Plata? What are you talking about? Submission. You got to tell me what he's going to hit. Oh, okay. I wanted you to call something crazy.
Look, he's got caught with 2 guillotines in his career. But he's got caught with 2 guillotines.
Rear naked choke, maybe. When he has your back, he's a headache.
Rear naked choke is the most. Yeah. It's the highest percentage submission move in mixed martial arts and even jiu-jitsu, right? You get the back, you go for the choke. That's the highest percentage move. That's what you want. You want to take the back, you want to go for that choke. That's what you go for.
And look, it's not
works.
like Chandler can't do that. Listen, Chandler's like ground game is like up there as well. Anything could happen, but you're right. If it goes to the ground, if you're gonna look at like submission skills, you're giving it to Oliveira. That's why he holds that record. And you know what? Freddie's not too far off. If he goes heavy and Oliveira takes him to the mat, it's done. And you know what? Every time I look at Chandler, I always look at him and I'm like, he reminds me of Matt Hughes. His style is very similar to Matt Hughes. And you know what? We'll see. We'll see on Saturday night.
I thought AJ glitched for a second.
Yeah, me too.
No, I didn't glitch. I
know
was
what?
just like, I don't know what else to say, man. It's just
He
like,
reminds me of
it's
Matt
all-
Hughes.
It's like,
He reminds me of Matt
All
Hughes.
right.
And you know what?
yeah,
We'll see. And I was like, what? What does that mean?
exact.
That's
I don't
all right,
know,
man.
we'll
That's
see
how
Saturday
Jim
night,
Rome
man.
made a success of radio, man. Always like giving pauses. AJ's tuning in.
You know why, Freddie? Because I got my first DVD of the School of Awareness. Thank you to teacher Joshua. Please come on our show.
I've been
It's gonna be
studying
fun.
the.
It's gonna be fun.
You're studying the
What?
school of Josh Fabia. I've been studying
School of Awareness.
the school of Gordon Ryan Jiu-Jitsu. I think I'm going down
Now
a better
that,
path.
my friend.
Yeah,
Yeah, I think the
guy's
School
good.
of
That
Gordon
guy's
Ryan. Yeah, yep.
good
He's
God.
damn good. He's not just good. He's damn good.
I know.
And his girlfriend is like pretty hot too, dude.
I don't
Have you
know
ever
who his
seen
girlfriend
that?
is, but I just know
Yeah,
that he's.
take a look. Listen,
his-
do a Google search on
Take
that.
it easy.
You'll thank me.
See, what are you, Glenn?
No, well, actually, Glenn probably knows her personally because Glenn knows a lot of people personally.
Glenn
Wouldn't
was
surprise me.
talking
Go
all
ahead.
sorts of crazy shit last night. I was like,
Was
I was
he?
like,
Oh,
Jesus,
I missed
what
it.
are you saying?
I gotta watch it
Oh,
now.
what? Is that real? Well, I gotta check on that.
What
See
is
has
it?
happened. Well, I don't know. Apparently, we have hats.
We have
We have
hats.
what?
Hats. Like you asked for a hat, and
Well,
now
show
we have
them, Dave.
hats. I don't know.
What
I
is
don't
it,
think.
man?
I don't
Like,
think I've
we've
approved
got-
this. I
listen,
don't
man.
think I've approved this.
It doesn't matter. You don't have to prove nothing, man. It's about like a production team.
Oh,
They're
it's
fast.
actually
Cool.
pretty
Does
dope.
anybody
You
want
can
anything
get
else?
Different
Listen,
color
does anybody need anything he wants? We'll get it on our show.
I do like this. Go to
Well, let's see it,
merch.ringsidereport.net right now and get a Ringside Report hat.
Wow, that is what?
There you go.
That
Got
is
one.
pretty dope, man.
different-
What?
You could choose your colorway. I like this colorway actually. This
No,
is a
not
nice
white,
one.
man. White is like
I like this colorway too.
that's like an AJ hat that I have right
Yeah. You can wear that with a MMA and Wrestling Authority right there.
now.
Ringside Report Network hats available
Wow.
right
that is-
now over at merch.ringsidereport.net. See how fast that was?
That's a nice color. That was cool, man.
Which one? This one or this one?
No, that one is a nice.
This
I
one?
like that one. Yes,
This one?
that one's nice, man.
This
That's like the hat I have now. That one. No, that one. Not that one. The other one.
Merch.ringsidereport.net.
This
Freddie
is kind
asked
of
for
like
a
what it
hat.
would look like.
Freddie asked for a hat. We got hats, baby. We got hats.
What up?
We're
What
gonna
about
get you a hat,
socks? I want
Fred.
a pair of ringside socks.
All right, take it easy now. You're gonna.
Underwear. I bet you Glenn will go with the underwear. I bet you Glenn will be the first guy to be like, yeah, why don't you get Dave get some like G-strings with Ringside Report. And you know what?
So the co-main event is Tony Ferguson
What?
against Beneil Dariush. What?
Did you actually see the press conference with Tony?
Tony was
It was
going wild
insane,
at the
dude.
press conference, right?
Wow, man. Did you hear some of the shit he said? He said one thing, like he said a lot of stuff, but there's one thing he said that I didn't like. I don't know if you heard it. He was talking to Dariush and he was like,
I didn't see the
talking
whole
shit.
press conference. I was taking a nap.
Okay, so let me tell you. So at one point, I like Tony Ferguson brings it up. He lights up like a press conference, like no one else. But the only problem is that one point he goes, I've been training so hard, Dariush, and I've been training so hard that I broke my my students' ribs.
Oh yes,
And like Dariush,
I slammed
Yeah.
you. Yes,
Yeah.
I did see that. I
was that
slammed you
insane,
so
dude?
hard.
I was like,
Yeah, it was weird.
how did it go? What was the actual quote? It was like, I slammed my student so hard that I
Yeah.
broke his ribs.
Yeah,
Can
That
I
wasn't
say,
cool. Like I heard that.
I'll get you the
like they're
quote
not
here.
exactly the same, but like don't be surprised over time if like Tony Ferguson has maybe a similar story that Diego Sanchez. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't want to be mean. And I don't want like Tony Ferguson just seems a little bit odd sometimes. So he's one of those guys that you wonder like is his head always all there? But look, I wish him the best. I love Tony Ferguson. I think he's going to win tomorrow. I'm picking Saturday. I'm picking him to win. Beneil Dariush is a nice fighter. I like Beneil Dariush, but he's never fought a guy like Tony Ferguson. So I'm going to go with Tony Ferguson winning that one, probably by decision.
Yeah, but don't forget, Freddie, Dariush is on a 6-fight winning streak, man. This guy is pretty much on a roll. He's pretty much what Ferguson was prior to Ferguson's 2 losses, not just losses, heavy losses. I mean, it's a different game, man. You're looking at this guy that is a finishing machine. So you could go either or. And I want to go with Tony Ferguson. I always love Tony, but I'm telling you, man, the press conference to me it seemed he was too emotional. Like it's almost like a must win, and that's what it comes down to. Tony Ferguson needs this win. He needs a must impressive win. And the thing with Tony Ferguson under pressure, the guy is not the best. And you said that he's always unhinged a bit. I mean, if you look in the past, man, you know there was one point where Tony Ferguson and we were talking on the show where he had to go see like a Dr. Phil because he was like having some crazy like escapades where he thought his baby was like the devil. It was like crazy shit.
Yeah, he was
And
having
then
some
he got
mental
into like
health issues.
yeah, mental health issues. And the thing is that listen, shit happens. He got himself treated, but the thing with Tony is that when the pressure is on, man, somehow or another he becomes unhinged in his fights, and we saw that in his last 2 fights because he knew that he needed to win. He knew that he had to be impressive, and he went the complete opposite way.
Look, I don't know if it's about the pressure. I don't think it's a mental thing necessarily. I think that he has shown up in some high-pressure situations and won some big fights. I think he's 37. He's been in a shit ton of wars, and, you know, the wheels are starting to fall off. That's how I see the Tony Ferguson story. Like, you know, he had that Gaethje fight, and Gaethje pretty much handled him, and he didn't quite look great in the Gaethje fight. And then the Olivieira fight, he looked worse. He didn't look like the same Tony Ferguson that was smashing Pettis and Cerrone and all these guys before, you know? And he had a great run at 155 pounds, but, you know, that was more in 2015, 2016, 2017. Those were his most effective years. You know, his last win was in 2019 against Donald Cerrone. We all saw what happened to Donald Cerrone last weekend. He got completely handled, and it's clear that Donald Cerrone, another one of these guys in his late 30s, has been through a ton of wars, who was elite at one time, but now the wheels have fallen off. And that's how I see Tony Ferguson. It's just wear and tear and years. He's 37. Beneil, I think, is what, 31? Beneil is younger.
32 years old.
32. He's on the come up. He's surging. You know, he's a very aggressive fighter. He does everything well. His jiu-jitsu is great. His wrestling is good. He's got a good chin, and he comes forward, and his striking is getting better and better, and he's won now 6 in a row. This is his time. This is his fight. He needs to come in. He needs to impress, but I think he will. I really think Beneil Dariush gets it done because I think things are starting to fall apart in Tony Ferguson land, and I'm going to play the clip that AJ was talking about here where Ferguson said he broke his own student's ribs. It was kind of weird. Let's get that for you from the UFC press conference today.
I'm going to slam you like I did my student. I broke his fucking rib.
Well, that's a dick move, bud. Why would you do that to your own student?
Because he made me do it.
What?
I'm going to slam you like I did my student. I broke his fucking rib.
Well, that's a dick move, bud. Why would you do that to your own student?
Because he made me do it.
Because he made me do it. Ferguson, I don't know. That is a dick move, right? What's going on? Ferguson was on fire today.
You know, yeah, he was on fire. But, dude, to say something like that means, like, you have a disrespect for your students and things like that. I mean, maybe he was talking, like, out of his ass. Maybe it really didn't happen. Maybe he was just trying to show off. I hope that's the case. But even to say something like that, it takes away from the fact that the reason why people love Tony is because, yeah, he has that edge. But, like, he's like a raw guy. But, you know, only a dick will break his students' ribs. I mean, in jiu-jitsu, you know, like, you train with the baddest asses around. Yeah. And I've seen one guy try to hurt a student once, and that guy was out faster than you can imagine. And actually, one time it happened at Gamma way back. some crazy ass tried to come in and challenge like a bunch of people, and it was a bad day. That shit doesn't happen. And if it does happen, change school. But Tony Ferguson to say that, it kind of like I looked at it. I'm like, oh man,
Weird.
if he really did that to a student,
But he
if
said
really,
it.
let's
He
just
said
say
it
that
in a
really
way to
happened.
try to, like, yeah, it probably did
I don't know,
happen.
dude.
But he said it in a way
If
that
it
he
did
wanted to
happen-
scare Dariush, and Dariush had a
Dude,
good
that's not
comeback,
scary.
and then Ferguson didn't really know what to say, so he just replied back like, "Yeah, I did that because of you." Like, I mean, I
Yeah.
just see it as stupid trash talk,
Dude,
man. I'm not.
I
I know, but
like,
here's
I doubt
more-
Tony
listen, but that's not
Ferguson.
cool.
Here's more Tony Ferguson from today at the press conference here.
Scripted it any better? It's perfect.
You dodged me too, Chandler.
Hey, that's not true. Hey,
Every person out here except for this guy right here that's sitting next to me.
hey, that's not true.
I'm gonna be real, man.
Tony.
The other side, those are
Hey, you
losers.
could have
We're
fought
coming
me
over here.
January
This side's
23rd.
victory
You could
table.
have fought me January 23rd, and I would have done the same thing to you.
Hey,
as
man, you said no, man. I'm gonna be real. You got this shit handed to you. You got Dana White privilege.
Tony. Thanks, Dana.
It's all love, baby.
Goodness.
So now I want Tony to win.
I mean, that was pretty good. Dana White
Crazy, man.
privilege.
I like this Tony now.
You got Dana White privilege. He's always funny. He's always entertaining. He was calling out Khabib, you know. Like, he's sharp. He's got lines. He's Tony Ferguson. He talks shit. But the last two fights that he's had, he's looked progressively worse. And I'm starting to wonder, is he done? And if he loses to Beneil, I think we will know that he is done.
But I mean, Frank Camacho, the Rock Hard Close, Scott Holtzman.
I know.
I mean, Drew Dober.
I know.
Those are the wins he's got on his streak, man. Tony
I know.
Ferguson's another level.
So you think Tony wins?
Yeah, I got Tony.
Damn. By
I said
what?
it. I could see, unfortunately, this fight being similar to the Olivieira fight, where Beneil is a very good grappler. So maybe he could win the grappling against Tony if it ends up being a grappling fight. I could see Beneil maybe getting a decision like that. But no, I'm gonna go with Tony, man. I'm still a fan of Tony. I still believe in him.
AJ, what do you
Look,
think?
Freddie, I'm gonna give you just a quick thing. First of all, Dino Steaks, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. But I'm gonna tell you one thing. He's lost 8 of his last 8 rounds. Let's not forget that. He might have won 1 round with Gaethje, but out of his last 8 rounds, he's lost. That's the problem now. That's almost like fucking hitting 10 rounds. There's something wrong with you. And that's not the same Tony Ferguson. I don't think Tony Ferguson's going to step up to be what we saw Tony Ferguson of the past. And Dariush is one guy, man, that comes out to win. And this guy is just something. He is what Ferguson was. And I'm going with Dariush on this. And I think it's going to be a TKO. And to be honest, I don't think it's going to go into late rounds. I think it's going to happen early.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how long this fight goes, AJ. I don't know if Dariush finishes Ferguson, but I think he beats him. I think he beats him by decision. I don't think he's going to be able to finish Tony Ferguson, but I think he's going to be able to beat him, and I think he'll be able to outpoint him over 3 rounds. He might get into some trouble. Ferguson is tough, man, but I just, at 37 and the past couple of fights,
He's on my parlay.
I don't know.
There's a lot of wear and tear,
I
man.
had the right parlay last week.
I know you did, Fred. Yes,
Listen,
you did. Yes, you did. So
Freddie's on fire, man. But
Freddie
listen,
is
it's 3 rounds, right?
behind Ferguson.
Right, Dave? And that's the thing. The pace is going to be pushed fast and hard, man. The first 2 rounds are going to be fire, and that's why I don't think it's going to go to distance. I think someone's going down, and unfortunately, I think it's going to be Ferguson, which is, I hate to say that because I love this guy,
But it's only
You know
a
what?
3-round
You know-
fight, also. Let's not forget, man.
Yeah, but that's what I was saying.
I can see this going to decision. Definitely.
I see this going fast, hard, and out, man.
Fast, hard, and out. Just like AJ on a Saturday night. Caitlin Chukagian takes on Vivian Araujo. I had to.
Vivian. Oh, I love Vivian.
I want to get Fred's parlay here. I like Chukagian, actually, Fred. Or AJ, sorry. I'm a big fan of Chukagian. She right now is where am I? She is the favorite right over at bet99.com -139. Araujo +114, the underdog. You could bet with us over at bet99.com. Use that code ringside to take advantage of the matching deposit bonus of up to $600 when you sign up with the promo code Ringside over at bet99.com. Okay? Okay?
Yeah, it's okay. It's okay. I love it, man. Bet99.
I'm trying to go back to you
Hello?
guys, but there you go.
What the hell happened there, Dave?
What do you mean? Take it easy,
I was-
AJ. So you like Araujo in this fight, AJ? I want to know your parlay. We're gonna
Yeah.
get Freddie's parlay, AJ's parlay. AJ, I checked our Instagram earlier, and I went to see
What
to
happened?
try and show Freddie's parlay, but you only posted my parlay last week. You didn't post Freddie's or yours.
Yeah, because Freddie didn't
We
send
did it
the,
on the
the
show.
stuff in, man.
But we did it on
Yeah, I
the
know,
show,
but
man.
you
We
got-
posted it on the
I
show.
know you gotta send. Look, I didn't even get mine up because I didn't send it. You know, there's
To
a
yourself.
team behind the AJ. Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't
There's
make
a team
sense.
behind me that's doing that shit, and I didn't send it to them. But anyways, listen. You know what? Just to let you know, again, the girl has like a 5-inch height advantage. But when you look at these two girls, their arm reach is exactly the same. And when it comes to grappling and submissions and whatnot, this Vivian blows Shogagian out, man. She doesn't even come close to her. And you know what? And she's the favorite, right? Shogagian's the favorite, Dave?
Yeah.
Correct? I'm going the other way. And I'm telling you, that's going to be it. And it's going to be a submission win. This girl is going to submit Shogagian.
Chukagian is too strong, too big, and her wrestling is too good. She trains with one of the best jiu-jitsu teams in the world at Renzo Gracie's in New York. Her game is on point. She's 32 years of age. She's still in her prime. She is a championship-level fighter. She is a very strong striker with very good wrestling. I got Caitlin Chukagian. I don't think Araujo is going to be able to do much of anything to her in this fight. You say she's got great jiu-jitsu. Good luck taking down Caitlin Chukagian. Good luck
Not
with
just
that
great
takedown
She
defense.
blows her submission like out of
Okay.
the water, man.
Good luck
I
taking
went-
her
I did-
down, though.
Yeah.
I don't
Watch,
see it
watch,
happening.
man.
I can't wait for this
It's
fight,
happening,
AJ. This
Because,
is going to be good.
Listen, man, their arm reach is exactly the same. If she has shorter arms and whatever, I'd say Shokagian is going to keep her at a distance and play her game, strike, kick, do all her stuff that she usually does. Gets in the clinch, she could probably overpower. But this is not going to happen, man. Once they go into that clinch, it's going to be a different story. She's going to take her down. Her submission skills are amazing. So I'm telling you guys, I'm going that way. And watch, it's going to
Okay.
come out
Freddie?
with a submission.
I mean, I don't know. I don't really have a pick for this fight. They're not on my parlay.
Mhm.
Like I gotta say, I think AJ sold Vivian pretty well. So did Dave, man. I don't know, man. I'm gonna pick a draw, man.
Come on,
Here.
Dave. Flip a coin, man. Flip a coin.
All right, I got
We gotta get the cat.
Chukagian.
Yep, there you go.
Chukagian.
You got
That's-
Shakugian?
Correct.
Where's the cat when we need her?
Let's
Listen, man,
let's
guys.
get to
Okay.
let's get to some parlays. Let's do it. Let's pick some fights here. Let's do the damn thing for UFC 262. Charles Oliveira, Michael Chandler is our main event. We are all on Charles Oliveira to win. That is our pick. We think Charles Oliveira will be the new UFC lightweight champion after the pay-per-view on Saturday night, which you can watch along with us, 10 p.m. Eastern Time, coming up Saturday night right here on the Ringside Report Network. Tony Ferguson versus Beneil Dariush is our co-main event. Chukagian versus Araujo. Shane Burgos versus Edson Barbosa. And Matt Schnell versus Rogerio Bontorin round out the main card. Jacare is on the prelims, taking on Andre Muniz. Lando Venata versus Mike Grundy. Antonina Shevchenko, Valentina's sister, takes on Andrea Lee. Jordan Wright faces Jamie Pickett. Priscilla Cachoeira takes on Gina Mazzani. Kevin Aguilar against Tucker Lutz. And Sean Soriano, training partner to Michael Chandler, takes on Christos Giagos in the opener. AJ, what can you tell me about Christos Giagos?
Not much because I don't really
Thank
know.
you. Perfect. That's exactly what I wanted to hear. That's what I'm talking about. So this fight coming up.
Tell me, man. What's your picks?
Let's see. What is my pick? Give me your picks first. Wait,
Let's get
Fred.
it done, man.
Fred
People
keeps
wanna
talking
know,
about
man.
his parlay. Fred's like, this person's on my parlay. This person's not on my parlay. I feel like Fred's parlay is prepared. You know, Fred's parlay is ready. So, let's see, Fred. Tell me what your parlay is. Let's win some money for the Ringside Report universe. What do you got?
Well, Charles Oliveira,
All right. Freddie's going with
Tony Ferguson,
Big Charles, Big Ferg.
Edson Barbosa,
Big Ed.
and that's it for now.
And
is
that's it.
I wanted to maybe put Lando Venata, but I'm not convinced. I'm going to go with a 3-fight parlay. Last week, that's what I had. It paid off big, so I'm going with a 3-fight parlay again.
There you go. There is Freddie's 3-fight parlay over at bet99.com. He's got Charles Oliveira, Tony Ferguson, and Edson Barbosa. $20 at plus 775 for the parlay. Gets you $175 profit on a $20 bet.
Good. It's a good one.
That's pretty good. That's a pretty good parlay. Fred's parlay came through last week. Do you remember which fights you had, Fred? You had Gregor Gillespie.
I had, Gillespie, Magny, and somebody else. And the guy that beat the Cowboy there.
Oh,
Morono?
yes. Morono.
Yeah.
Yes. Nice parlay
Yeah, you
there
had
last
Morono.
week from Fred.
That was a good one.
That was good.
You won money with Freddie, and it was a good payout too on Freddie's.
Yeah. All right. AJ?
I think it was around. So for mine, I'm going with the 5 fights. I'm going to go straight through that main card.
Wow.
I'm going to do Charles Oliveira.
Yeah.
I'm going with Dariush. I'm going
Mhm.
with Schnell because I think Schnell. I looked at like all the stats, and Schnell should win this fight. I'm going with Vivian,
Mm-hmm.
and then I'm going to go with Shane Burgos on this.
Oh, Burgos. Our man,
Yeah, well, he was
Burgos.
listen,
No, I'm going
CFFC
against
champion, man.
Burgos.
He was. Yeah, well, Edson Barbosa, man, is awesome. But let's not forget.
Like, didn't you hear my breakdown earlier of Burgos, man? Come on, man. How can
Yeah.
you pick Burgos after all the deep analysis I gave you earlier?
Yeah. AJ.
Listen,
So there's
the guy beat
Beneil
Cub Swanson. The
Dariush.
guy's beat. Come on.
Beneil Dariush, Charles Oliveira, Matt Schnell, Vivian Araujo, Shane Burgos, and that's it.
For
$20
20.
at plus 1522 gets you $324.35 over at bet99.com.
Nice.
And I've
Team
got
AJ.
to come up with a parlay now, and I got to say, I don't know. I think I'm going to keep it simple here, guys. I'm going to keep it real simple. I'm going to go with Beneil Dariush, Caitlin Chukagian, and I think Grundy. I might go with Grundy, or maybe the guy who's
What?
fighting.
With Grundy?
I don't know. I'm thinking about Grundy or the guy who's fighting Jacare.
Well, that's why I'm
That guy
surprised he
looks
didn't go
like
with
a beast
Jacare on
still,
this.
like physically.
Yeah,
That guy
Andre
that's
Muniz,
fighting
yeah.
Jacare.
I think I'm
Like,
taking
I don't really
Muniz.
know his fighting skills, but on paper, on picture, man, he looks.
Well, he's 31
Looks like
years
a
old,
beast.
and you got Jacare who's 41. So, like, there's a lot of wear and tear. Listen, not as much wear and tear on a guy who does jiu-jitsu, and that's his primary ways of winning. Jiu-jitsu
Jacare's kind of old,
go
though,
the distance.
you know?
But he's 41 and he's a jiu-jitsu guy, so he can go the distance.
but
He doesn't go up
he
with
was
a lot of
knocked out
stand-up.
pretty terribly in his last fight by Kevin Holland, and Kevin
Yes.
Holland's looked
Yes.
super shitty since then, so I don't know.
It
Beneil
was just a weird,
Dariush,
listen, it was
Caitlin
weird.
Chukagian, and Andre Muniz. Frankie
You're going
Muniz.
against Jacare,
Of course I am.
Dave?
Frankie
You
Muniz'
want to
brother
think about that?
from Malcolm in the Middle. Plus 457. That's 111.32 profit on a $20 bet. It's not huge. It's not a great payout, but it's pretty good, man. You turn $20 into 111. So
I
yeah.
don't know if that was such a good pick, man. Souza,
Well, suck it, AJ. I don't care about what you think about my picks.
Team AJ, woo!
Team Dave. We all have our signature team names and then sound effects associated. Team AJ, woo! Team Dave. What's Team Fred? What's the Team Fred sound?
Quiet, silence. Fred is like Team Fred.
Team Fred.
Yeah, exactly. A little too much.
Yeah,
coughing.
Team Fred.
The COVID cough.
No, that's not what that is.
Listen, it's not. Oh, okay.
No way, baby. All right, guys.
Listen, So
What?
where are we now? What are we going to talk about? I just was going to
That's
say
it.
the guys that
I'm
got cut from
done.
the UFC. No,
I'm leaving.
Listen,
I'm
man.
saying good night to you.
No.
Good night and good luck
Listen.
to you, AJ. God bless
I was
you.
going to say something about the Hardy thing. The
Jeff
Hardy
Hardy.
thing. You want to hear?
Jeff Hardy?
No, Craig Hardy. Your buddy,
Craig
Craig
Hardy?
Hardy.
Who's
What's happening
Craig
with Craig?
Hardy? Who's Craig Hardy?
Greg.
Greg Hardy.
Greg Hardy.
That's what I said. What do you think I said?
I don't know.
Am I
Angelo
speaking
says
like Italian?
Team Dave all day, every day. That's right, Angelo.
He's got a point. But so far, it's Team Freddy who's been bringing in the money for the last couple of weeks. So Freddy's on fire. Not for many weeks now. So
I'm good
Freddie
on
actually is
good on
top.
pay-per-views though. I usually kill it on the pay-per-views.
Yeah,
Usually.
and the
All
preliminary.
the hours
The
I
preliminary
spent
card.
studying, man.
And the main card, like the main event. I think I'm on a streak of pay-per-view main events since like February or something that I haven't got wrong. Have I picked a main event wrong?
You've been. Yeah, you did.
You know what
but
I
I'm
mean?
the only guy that got the 5-fight parlay right so far.
One
5-fight
time.
parlay. You made money with OJ. OJ.
OJ. You don't even know what your own name is now. You are really
You made
getting
money
old, buddy.
With OJ. Actually, you know what? I've been trying to get OJ to come on our show. I know that you
Yeah,
didn't
he's
want to,
not
but I've been
allowed.
trying to get him on the show.
Okay, so
Come on.
I'm on a streak right now of consecutive, like picking the main event correctly. I took Usman versus Burns at 258. I took Yan over Israel at 259. I took Francis over Stipe at 260. And, of course, I took Usman again over Masvidal at 261. So I'm on a streak of consecutive pay-per-view main events dating back several months now. Is that 5 pay-per-view main events I picked correctly? I'm bound to lose. Michael Chandler probably win this weekend, right? But I'm going with Charles Oliveira. So I'm just saying my pay-per-view main events have been pretty good this year. Undefeated,
Listen, man,
except for the Conor fight. Except for the Conor fight where I picked Conor. That's the only main event, pay-per-view main event that I've picked
It's not going to
wrong
happen
this
again.
year.
It's not going to happen again, Dave. It's not going to happen. Unless he buys Manchester United, it's done. That's the end of Conor as we know him. The guy is able to buy a football team
And
in
he's
Europe.
Forbes.
Connor's the athlete
And it's
that
the
made the most
Manchester
money
United.
in 2020?
Yeah, apparently he's
Dude,
like the
he's
highest
made-
paid
That's
athlete
crazy.
according to Forbes in 2020.
Is that incredible
Yeah,
or what?
he's got a lot of money, and every time I see him, he is like chilling. Or Gregor Gillespie won his fight last weekend, and Conor was like, and he was like, "I'm the best fisherman in the UFC," and Conor's like, "No,
Yeah.
I'm the best fisherman in the UFC." Like Conor is talking nothing but bullshit and doesn't seem that focused on figuring out how to beat this guy that beat him last time. I'm not buying Conor McGregor right now. I am selling the Conor McGregor stock. I'm getting rid of it because it's like
Easy, Dave. Don't
over.
do that, man. It's not
Conor
over, man. I'm going to tell you one
Poirier
thing
right
with Conor.
now. Poirier right now -110. Conor -111 over at Bet99.com. Basically a pick 'em. I'm going with Poirier. Shit's over.
Listen, man. Every time Conor comes
Connor's
back
over.
for a rematch, who wins?
He's
Who
over.
wins? Conor.
You mean
Hey,
one
listen,
time?
yeah.
One time. Happened one
So
time.
what?
One
It's
time.
going to happen 2 times.
If he fought
Listen,
Khabib
I'm gonna
again,
tell you something.
he'd fucking lose.
Yeah, well, Khabib is a different story, man.
Yeah.
There's a reason for Khabib.
And
You know,
when he fights
we've got
Poirier
Khabib
again,
over
he's
here.
gonna lose. You think Conor's gonna beat Poirier?
Yeah, I think Conor's going to beat Poirier. I think Conor is going to beat him. But
Fred?
you know what? It's going to be a
I think that Conor looked good for that first round, and Conor's always dangerous. But if this goes into the second or third round, I'm going to think Poirier is going to win again. And the deeper the fight goes, the more I'm gonna pick Poirier. Conor does have that chance, he has knockout power and all that, but even that, I'm not sure, man. You gotta be active, man.
Listen,
You gotta
man.
be more
Listen,
active. So
but
yeah,
look at the fight
I'm
again.
with Dave.
Look
I'm
at that
selling
fight.
the McGregor stock.
No, man.
Connor's
No,
smartest
no.
move was
Wrong
sell
move,
proper
boys.
12 while his name's still worth something. Sell it right now.
He did sell it. He got I don't know how much money. I think he got it for like
I know.
600
His
million.
name will always
But
be
listen,
worth something.
but Freddie, but
Just
listen,
joking.
look at that fight with Poirier. If the first round, man, was all Conor. Conor was playing his game, and it was that inside calf kick. And I said it from the beginning. He went to that weird karate stance, which he was just taking those shots. If Conor would have been back to he was in his boxing stance, not his karate stance. He was doing a boxing stance, and that's what got him caught. And that was the problem. If Conor would have kept fighting the way he did in the first round and avoided those kicks to the calf, he would have won that fight. Take a look at that fight again. It was Conor, man. Conor was throwing in those punches. Poirier looked like he was almost going to get knocked out at one point, and then the game changed. He's not going to make that same mistake. He's going to go back to his old karate stance, his old taekwondo stance, and be able to intercept those calf kicks. And he was just eating them. And you know what? His mistake, he forgot he was in an MMA fight. He thought he was still fighting Mayweather. I don't know, but it's not going to happen the second time. And Dave, let me finish what I was saying before with Craig Hardy. Maurice Green got kicked. Craig Hardy, that's what I said. And I was going to say is that Maurice Green got cut from the UFC from his last fight, which was a pretty bad fight, to be honest. But anyways, what I was going to say is that anyone who fights Hardy and loses, they get released from the UFC like the next day. It's crazy, man. So basically, don't lose to Hardy, and you'll still have a career in the UFC. That's what I was trying to say like 10 minutes ago, man.
All right.
Jesus.
Cool.
Don't you find that interesting?
No. Anything else?
Nope. Okay. Let's see.
Fred and
Well,
I are both
actually-
just like done with you. We're like, yeah, whatever, AJ. What the hell are you talking about?
No, I was actually
Morris
going to say,
Green,
talking
isn't
about
that
the,
a sprinter?
Yeah, who the hell are you
Who's
talking
Morris
about?
Green?
He fought last
well,
weekend
Morris,
and he lost,
yeah,
right?
yeah, it was, well, yeah, I went, yeah. Well, we
He
were
didn't look
talking
so
about him
good.
and all, but actually with the Morris Green thing, there was a whole controversy with Herb Dean. Did you hear that whole thing? Like, when the fight came to an end, like, everybody thought Herb Dean said, hey, motherfucker, and, like, it was caught, and everybody was like, I can't believe Herb Dean said that, and whatever. But it turned out it wasn't Herb Dean, and it was actually, like, Morris Green, like, saying, like, hey, motherfucker, at the last part of the round, he got, like, clipped. And he got, who knows,
There
maybe.
was a late punch. Yeah, with Rogerio
There was a late
de
punch.
Lima. De Lima beat him last
Exactly.
weekend. Marina Rodriguez beat Michelle Waterson. She looked good last weekend, Marina.
I told you. I
over
picked
Michelle.
that. I picked that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget that guy.
but you know-
Maurice Green did win a gold medal in 2000 in Sydney. Not the
That's
same
a
guy.
sprinter. It's a different guy. This is Maurice
Oh.
Green, UFC fighter. Totally different guy.
Could be the
Alex
same guy, Dave.
Marina Rodriguez looked good. She got good striking, but you know when she gets taken down, she's got nothing. She's got nothing off her
Who
back.
cares?
Well,
It-
I
it
mean,
look-
she's gonna
so
have to
what?
face. I mean, if you're
Come
fighting
on.
Marina Rodriguez, take her down. That's all I'm saying. You know, Michelle Watterson
what?
when she
But
got
you
that
couldn't keep
takedown
her
in the fourth
down.
round,
You couldn't
she
keep her
kept
down.
her. She kept her down. She didn't do shit off her back.
Well,
Rodriguez just stood
Listen,
there.
man.
She just sat there. Look, I'm telling you, you know,
Listen.
somebody like Mackenzie Dern, right, fights Marina Rodriguez. Fucking, that's a wrap. She's gonna finish her. You get a takedown and you get some good jiu-jitsu going, you're gonna beat Marina Rodriguez. Her stand-up is really good. She's powerful, really good Muay Thai, but her
Very
ground
good,
game wasn't there. But she looked good last weekend there, beating Michelle Waterson. Alex Morono just smashing through Donald Cerrone, just chasing the knockout, and he got it. You know,
Cerrone, man.
just chasing
Jesus,
that
man.
knockout. Cerrone, he's 38 years old. He's lost now a bunch in a row. 1, 2, 3, 4.
He hasn't
6.
won like how many? Like for a
He
long
hasn't
time now.
won since like 2019. Well, he's lost 5 and won no contest in his last 6. But really, you know, he's not looked good. And right now, I just think Donald Cerrone is done. Dana White says he's going to give him one more fight at 155 pounds because he just wants to give him one more fight. So Cerrone will fight again, but I wouldn't bet on him to win unless he's fighting somebody
you know
who's
what?
even further done than he is somehow.
Look. At least Dana's gonna give him one more fight, and it'll be his retirement fight, and that's it. You know what? At least that's cool because no one's fought more than Cowboy Cerrone, and we say this all the time. Like in 1 year, this guy's fought more than some guys have fought in like 10 years, to be honest.
Yeah.
So you know, we saw Cowboy Cerrone fight live. I love this guy. He's a big guy, man. He loses a lot of weight to get into like his weight class. But you know what? Yeah, I'm surprised that he's gone this far. That one fight that's left, that's great. I hope it's an easy fight. I hope it's an easy marshmallow fight, and he gets through. And that's it. Retire, Cowboy, man. You're awesome.
And that's it. AJ and I will be back here on Saturday night for the UFC 262 watch along. Looking forward to that. That'll be a lot of fun coming up Saturday night, 10 p.m. Eastern. We're going to be watching the pay-per-view with you right here on the Ringside Report Network, as we do for every UFC pay-per-view. Freddie will be unavailable, unfortunately. Freddie, we got to get you on one of these watch-alongs one day soon. I think the last watch-along you were on was that Triller debacle, right? Was it the Jake Paul
Yeah,
thing?
yeah.
Fred, we got to get you on one that's fun. The last UFC pay-per-view was a lot of fun. I think this UFC pay-per-view is going to be a lot of fun.
Oh, wait.
The next UFC pay-per-view will be fun too. So we'll get Freddie on a watch along again soon. I have a busy weekend. Not only do we do the watch along, hey, thanks, Angelo. Not only do we do the watch along on Saturday night, but we're also doing a post show on Sunday for WrestleMania Backlash. So a big WWE pay-per-view coming up on Sunday, WrestleMania Backlash, and we'll be on right after that. And, of course, the Ringside Report Network will be back tomorrow night for Wrestling Uncensored right after SmackDown at 10 p.m. Eastern Time, where we will be not only recapping SmackDown, previewing WWE WrestleMania Backlash, but also doing the review of the Dark Side of the Ring Nick Gage episode, which drops tonight. So very, 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 very busy weekend here on the Ringside Report Network. I'll be here every night until my next night off will be Tuesday. So every night here on the Ringside Report Network, we are here with you. Thank you, Angelo. He says, thank you guys for making the show fun to watch every Thursday night. Well, thank you, Angelo, for supporting. You are once again the Super Chat leader, and I know Angelo wants some giveaways on the show on Saturday night. We'll see.
Yeah, you should, Dave.
Yeah, fucking AJ. you know, AJ, Glenn gave away Glenn WO merch last week on the AEW post show. Do you have some shit you'd like to give away?
Yeah, I gave away last time. I gave the Rudy Ladd stuff. You forget about that, but I got to get in touch with him again. I don't have merch, man.
Yeah.
AJ don't have merch. I could give you like my used T-shirts.
Well, we
I don't
will.
know.
Yeah, AJ game worn jersey. We will see what we can do for Angelo on Saturday night. Maybe we'll be able to hook you up with something. Shout out to Brooklyn Lizard, Miss Brooklyn Lizard, joining us for all the MMA content. We appreciate you. Dino Steaks as well. Shout out to Dino Steaks, Team 10.5 all day. Even Johnny North. Shout out to you, Johnny North. I'll see you tomorrow night, my friend. Lauren Cronish, I saw as well on the chat.
Dino Steaks.
I just said that. Angelo
Did
and
you?
Patrick C.
Sorry.
Hamilton. Don't forget about my man Patrick. John Hedstrom as well. Thank you, Patrick and Angelo, for the super chats tonight. Patrick and Angelo are members of the team. We want you all to become members so we can do more giveaways here on the show and on the watch along. So don't forget to become a member of the YouTube channel. You can also go to donate.ringsidereport.net. And if you want some merch, you can go to merch.ringsidereport.net for all of our cool stuff. We got hats, new hats available right now over at merch.ringsidereport.net. Like the video. If you're watching this and you've been watching this, just like the video. Smash that like button. Subscribe if you haven't already. We appreciate you. This team will see you again on Saturday, and I will see you again tomorrow night right after SmackDown.